Welcome back to another episode of American Gravy. What are we making, babe?
Well, we're gonna answer more questions, and one of the questions that we got this week was about like stir fry / fried rice. They said I got a lot of extra rice on hand all the time, and besides just doing like a basic fried rice, what are your tips and tricks for doing fried rice? So we're gonna show you our fried rice because we always have extra rice on hand. We own a restaurant, we do a lot of rice, and at the end of the night, we steam the rice in like 30 to 60 minute batches. So we'll always end up with some, and then we're like Rice Central over here.
We love rice here.
Yeah, we do kind of like, I love a breakfast fried rice. So this one's gonna be like a breakfast, brunch, dinner fried rice, kind of all meals of the day. Yeah.
You're going breakfast for this one?
Yeah, we're going kind of breakfast. I'm not gonna do like a fried egg.
Like a brunch?
It's gonna be a bacon fried rice.
Like a brunch?
Brunch. I hate that word, brunch. Why don't they just call it dinner?
It's because it's not. It's between breakfast and lunch.
Oh yeah.
Not dinner and
How
lunch.
about dinner? How about bunch?
Dinner.
How about, okay, I'm just gonna start
Just
with
stop.
this.
Let's
All right.
just, what are we
So
doing?
I got a pan going. I got a little bit of bacon here. Just a little bit, right? I'm just slicing up this bacon because we're gonna render the bacon. There we go, do half of that, right? So maybe 8 ounces of bacon. I'm not gonna take you guys to the stove yet. I'll tell you what's going on. I got a pan that's over medium heat back here, a real thick bottom rondeau or a brazier. No, wait, not a brazier.
Isn't that like a
braising pan. I don't know why I said brazier.
What are you thinking?
I'm picturing you in a brazier. All right, so I'm just gonna let this fat render in that pan right now. So rendering the bacon fat, ½ pound of bacon, that's gonna release all that fat. It's gonna get nice and hot. That was good, I like that. Try it again.
Okay.
Now, in the interim, we'll cut up some aromatics that we'll use in here. So,
I love fennel.
Fennel, yeah. Fennel is the foundation of this. Fennel is licorice, right? So this is basically like Twizzlers.
But why does black licorice taste so bad?
Because they add black licorice tastes bad because they add chemicals to it.
Yummy. Okay.
Well, do you like Sambuca?
Heck no.
Yeah, I know. When we were in Italy.
We have a story about Sambuca. Oh God.
We do? I don't even know about it.
Yeah, because we don't remember.
Tell it.
No, I don't remember. All I remember is taking Sambuca shots and then, yeah.
And then she taking Sambuca shots, and then I ended up back behind some Italian art museum.
No, that's not true. We did end up somewhere getting a bottle of wine and some chips.
Oh, we did Sambuca shots that night? That was in Venice. That was in Venice. All right. Well,
it was fun.
in any case.
We can't do that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got 4 cloves of garlic that I'm just crushing. And actually, why don't you chop these? Okay.
He doesn't like chopping the little things. So I will do this.
I like chopping them.
You like it?
I just don't want to chop them.
Why?
I don't know. I get the garlic in my fingers and then...
Yeah, see, he makes me do the onions and the garlic because you don't like getting it on your fingers. The smell lasts forever.
The smell does last forever.
Are we just doing like a little rough chop here? What are we doing?
Yeah, just do a rough chop on there.
Okay.
I'm rendering this bacon here.
Okay. The garlic is done.
Nice. Bacon fried rice is in the works.
Am I putting it in there?
Yeah, stick it in there. All right, so I'm just gonna do a nice dice on these shallots.
I just literally dropped all of it
So
out.
I got these shallots here, which are a little bit milder than than like a regular onion. I love the flavor of the shallots because...
You see what he's doing? He's doing this again.
What?
The shallot.
Yeah, I love the flavor of the shallots because it's mild. It's a little bit sweeter.
I like shallots.
You never heard of her. Okay.
You're funny.
So we got the shallots going. I'm gonna do a medium dice on these. You want to stir the bacon while I'm doing that? See, 2-person job. You see what it is when you get in the kitchen together as lovers. You can get so much more done as one unit, 2 people.
This would be a good date.
This would be a good date dish.
Like a good date dish.
Or if it was breakfast, then that means the date went really well.
Baby, don't be gross.
I'm just saying, maybe it was like the 10th date. I'm not condoning anything. They slept in separate rooms, guest rooms. One slept on the couch.
All right. Well, okay, you got your shallots.
Now I got a head of fennel, okay? So I'm only gonna do half the fennel because the flavor of the fennel is very strong, licorice-like. Cut out the core. So I cut it in half and you got the core right there on the fennel. So you just cut that out. Cut it out, all right? And then just cut your fennel into strips and dice it like you would an onion, right? So I just cut them into strips and then I just rough chop it just like I would an onion right there, see? There you go. Dice on the fennel. Really easy, really simple. But this is one of those vegetables that's not that expensive, that adds a ton of flavor to dishes, that is also, it's unique, right? It's one of those unique flavors where somebody's like, ooh, what is that, Margaret?
I have a question.
Shoot.
So this obviously came from the fennel.
Yeah.
This is fennel. Can you do anything with this?
Yeah, so we're gonna then pick the fennel fronds. We're gonna pick the fennel fronds and then we're gonna chop it up and add it into the rice at the end.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, we are, girl.
Okay.
All right, so now let's do this. Let's take this party over to the stove and we'll start doing the saute in batches.
Okay.
Meet you over there. So I'm gonna pull our bacon out right now, okay? I'm gonna leave the fat in the pan. Lauren, if you wanna grab the garlic and the fennel and the shallot,
Yep.
please do so. And I'm gonna add this back. I'm gonna add the bacon back to do the final crisp at the end. But we're getting a ton of this bacon fat flavor in the rice. And that's the key, right? You got leftover rice, which is inexpensive. You got bacon fat, which people typically throw away. So I want to utilize all that bacon fat, and no better way than in a fried rice. Okay, so Lauren's gonna dump in. First, let's just do the shallot and the fennel.
Okay.
Give that a flash fry in there, okay? Get those nice and brown. And we got some of the bacon bits on there that we'll want to pull up. Now, what I will do at this point, and this is really important, is we're going to salt the vegetables right now. They're going to release a little bit of moisture, which will pull some of those bits off the bottom of the pan, and it will also allow the vegetables to cook a bit quicker. So go ahead and salt it. And this principle applies to really sauteing anything. There you go. There you go. Okay.
Beautiful. Oh, that smells good.
Yep. So that, I mean, you got the bacon, the smoky bacon fat in there. You got the aromatic from the fennel, which is like licorice and somewhat sweet. And then obviously that vegetal flavor of the shallot.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. That was good. All right. Here we go. So do about a minute on that. And then what we'll do is we'll add our garlic. And we'll just bloom that garlic. Do about 45 seconds on there. And that'll toast the garlic. The whole room is redolent like a garlic factory.
Yum. Okay.
So, I mean, this is great. So now what we'll do,
delish.
we're gonna oh yeah, see that garlic just blooms in the bacon fat? That's perfect. Now what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna add a touch more, just a touch of beef tallow in here. I just want a little bit more fat. Not a lot, just a little bit, right? So just a little bit of fat.
Why?
Because I want to make sure that we get a nice saute on all the rice granules we're about to add. Yeah, big guy. Oh, that's okay, big boy. He just spent all the money on Mom's Amazon account buying himself a new pair of shoes, is what he said.
Nice.
All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna use all this rice, this day-old rice, right? But what you want to do is you want to make sure you break it up because we want to make sure that we get all of those rice granules in there. So I'm gonna add about 2 cups, maybe a pint of rice. About a pint.
That's good.
Yeah, there we go.
You're gonna mix it up?
Yep, go ahead and mix it up. Now this is the Benihana style right here. Okay, so we want to get that rice covered in all the bacon fat and a little bit of that beef tallow that we used. And you can use a wooden spoon if you want.
Yeah, this one's a little rough.
Okay, just get that, scrape that on the bottom. Don't let any of those, this is where the 2-person job comes in because you don't want the rice to start sticking. Now I'm gonna add the bacon back to this, which will cook with the rice.
Oh, that's gonna be good because I feel like we need some more fat in there.
Yeah. I've got our sauces. Got a couple eggs here, so I'm gonna add half a tablespoon of tamari. Okay, that's gonna prevent the stickage. I'm gonna add just a dash of fish sauce here, just a dash, right? Nobody will know. They'll just know that it tastes delicious. Go with some of our green onion. Oh yeah.
Do you want to take over?
Yep, I'll take over here. You know.
You guys witnessed.
Okay. I turn the heat off, okay? Because all of this rice is nice and rehydrated. And then what we're gonna do, okay, is we're going to add 2 eggs. And then we're just gonna mix that into the hot rice. Now I'm not gonna salt this and season this too heavily right now because we also did...
There's so much going on in there.
There's soy sauce in there. But what I will do, we'll take this over to the take this over to take this party to the cutting board. Okay. I'm gonna mix in, just like Lauren was asking about, some of these fennel fronds. So this is gonna actually add a ton of flavor. Almost looks like dill.
I was gonna say that.
And it's just gonna kind of pepper throughout. There you go. Okay, mix that in, Lauren.
Ooh.
I'll hit this with just a dash of vinegar. You can use rice vinegar, mirin, just something to kind of cut through that richness. A good amount of fresh cracked pepper, black pepper, or you could even use Szechuan pepper if you wanted to grind some Szechuan peppercorn. Pink peppercorn, green peppercorn, Chinese long peppercorn, Jim peppercorn, Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care.
You sound like Bubba Gump when he's naming all the types of shrimp.
I know. Mommy used to yell at me for naming too many peppercorns.
All right.
And now we'll just ice cream scoop it. Here we go. We'll ice cream scoop it right into the bowl. Oh, yeah.
Wow, that looks good.
Yeah. This is an uncured bacon, so it almost takes on the appearance of more of like a pork belly. We got about 6 ounces of bacon. We've got a half a head of fennel, 2 shallots, 3 cloves of garlic. I mean, what's the cost on that? Like $5?
No, a little more than that.
We can just finish this with a little bit on the, little bit more green onion. Of course.
Ooh.
Some toasted sesame seed.
Good call. I'm putting it in your hand first.
Yeah, I know. Now, I want to show you one thing Lauren did that was a huge mistake. She got these forks. Okay?
I did not buy those.
No. Whoa, easy. Whoa,
I
whoa.
didn't-
I meant she got forks. She got forks for me to eat. Okay. We got into a fight a couple weeks ago about these forks that are gold. I take the kids to the store and I was like, what forks do you like? And he wanted the gold forks.
Mind you, our entire silverware drawer is silver, so it looks horrible.
I want the gold. The price of gold was going
Do you
up at
see
the time.
this?
They're not
Do
real
you
gold.
see what I'm dealing with here?
Well, the point is I eat fried rice with a
Okay.
spork. I eat it with a spork.
All right, let's cheers.
So, ooh, we did it. We made it. There we go. Bacon fried rice. You did it again. You did it again. You nailed it. Now,
This is really good.
thank you. You know,
I still like breakfast though.
it a little smoky with the bacon and the egg.
That's what fried rice is.
Well, you know what? I want more. Oh my gosh.
This is
Yeah.
really good. We should put some kimchi on it.
Kimchi would be amazing in there. What's she up to these days?
No, no. She's a little butt.
She has a little butt? What the heck are you talking about?
She's a little butt.
All right, so in review, real simple fried rice with day-old rice. Add whatever aromatics you want. Pick a cheap protein as your base. I like the bacon because it renders out all that fat, which then will coat all of the rice granules and get a lot of that bacon flavor in there. So then go with your bacon fat, render it out, add your veggies, then add your rice, saute it, make sure all those grains get nice and toasty. Hit it with whatever sauces you want. We did fish sauce, soy sauce, and then we finished with 2 eggs in there, mixed it all together, toasted sesame seed, fresh green onions, and a dash of vinegar.
The fennel's really nice in here.
Yeah, I know. The fennel softens, right? So the fennel softens out. You don't get that hard licorice flavor, but you do get a nice vegetal flavor in there that really
But it
rounds it
tastes
out.
really good with the bacon.
Yeah.
It balances each other.
Yeah, fennel and bacon. Faking. We're not faking your bacon with fennel and bacon. It's real bacon, but the fennel's also there.
Delish.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Call you soon. Why would I even say that?
Call you soon.
I don't know. It's weird.